Hi, I'm Jane from Zeeland, Michigan, and I love the Wally Show because it's funny and it gives me something to look forward to every day. And you're now listening to the Wally Show podcast.
We had someone from Zeeland, Michigan do our podcast intro just a couple days ago.
Wonder if they're related.
Possibly.
I don't know how big that place is.
Or we're really big in Zeeland, Michigan.
Yeah, totes. That's for sure.
Good news. It's Girl Podcast. We didn't do a jingle. That's okay. So we're going to talk about a couple things that maybe Wally and Zach would kind of roll their eyes at, but they won't be too girly, so don't worry too much about it.
Wally's a girl himself anyway. So.
That's very true. Oh, first a quick update about yesterday's podcast contest. We had our winners come forward.
Oh, so they did get the right...
They did get the right answer. The number one answer was the amount of squirrels that we have in the United States. That surprises foreigners.
How are we supposed to know that if we don't... That doesn't make sense.
I don't know.
Squirrels are everywhere.
Apparently not. Just in the United States.
Whatever.
Maybe they eat squirrels in other countries.
They Googled it.
I know for sure that one person did find it online because he gave me the entire top 10 list. And he was late. He was too late to the party anyway.
Cheater.
We already had the winners. But
that's what you get for cheating.
That is my mistake, I guess, for doing a podcast contest. I should learn my lesson. Never again, potties. Never again.
You're all cheaters.
Just kidding. So we have an update about a story we talked about the other day about Betty's friend who went on an online date after meeting this guy and going rapidly fast through the talking phase of the relationship.
Right. So she got on eHarmony. There's different steps that you have to pass to get to the talking stage. And I think it's something about like you pick 3 questions that they can ask you or they... vice versa. I'm not really sure. And then you exchange emails, maybe do texting. I'm not really sure how all of that happens. But
so it's kind of supposed to be like over a couple of weeks.
Yeah, like
you
a
go through
slow
these
process.
steps.
But
Sure.
anyways, this friend of mine, her and this guy like flew through them.
In hours.
In a span of hours, yes. So anyways, they got matched on Saturday and they met up yesterday.
Already? Okay, so less than a week.
Yes.
And this is after like a 9-hour phone conversation. Did they have other phone conversations since this?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
And I know that they've been texting back and forth.
And how far away does he live?
About 4 hours.
Okay. Oh,
and
wow.
So he had to work and she didn't have to that day. So she drove the full 4 hours to go and see him.
Wow. Well, which I guess is probably safer than her giving her home address.
Yeah.
If you want to, well...
Yeah,
hopefully they met in a public place.
I don't know.
Oh,
see, I don't know that either.
Goodness.
Okay. I know.
She's brave.
Anyways, so I told her, I said, okay, just tell me his name. And, you know, like someone needs to know where you're going to be because she wasn't telling anyone except me and this other girl that she was even doing this.
Because a lot of people I could see being judgmental that it's going so quickly.
Yeah. And her parents are very pushy about the whole marriage situation. So if she brought him up, then they would be like, okay, let's plan your wedding.
Don't want to get her the hopes up either. So it's playing both worlds a little bit.
So I get why she didn't want to share it until she was for sure. So anyways, she told me his name. So I at least had that. But she wrote an address down of the place that she was meeting him and left it on a piece of paper in her room. So she said, if you don't hear from me, if I come up missing,
go
to my room.
Police.
Yeah, go to my room and you'll find a piece of paper with the address where I met him. And I was like, okay, this sounds like something from like a movie, like Criminal Minds or something. Anyways, so I was with this other friend, our mutual friend of ours, and we were eating dinner. And she texted us at the same time and said, I'm meeting him. Don't ask me any questions. Bye. And I was like, okay.
How do you not ask questions?
I know. So anyways, I go to bed and my other friend, she has to go to her Zumba class or whatever. And so we're like sitting on the edge of our seats and I'm thinking I'm not going to hear from her until tomorrow morning because she said it was going to be late. She didn't know when she was going to get home and all this stuff. So I text her at like 4:30 in the morning and I'm like, are you alive? That's all I want to know. And she texts me back and she's like, I'm alive. I have to sleep. I'll talk to you soon. And I was like, okay.
All right.
So anyways, I did hear back from her and I haven't talked to her, but through texting, which have been multiple texts through and through and through and through, like multiple ringing, she seems very over the moon. She sounds like she really does like him.
Wow.
They must have really hit it off. Because I guess what she said was, you think, you know, like her and this other mutual friend of mine, they do a lot of online dating. So they'll talk to someone and then they'll say you meet them in person and it's like
Nothing
they're a
like
whole
it.
different person.
Terrible
you can't
person.
talk to them
Yeah.
and all this stuff. So she wasn't sure if it was going to be that way.
Yeah.
But she met him in person and she said it wasn't awkward. He made it very comfortable and
Wow.
like cooked for her.
Aw.
And they went to go see a movie.
But so she went to his house?
I guess.
Oh, okay,
I don't
okay,
know.
okay. She's brave. She's brave.
I know.
And it worked out. She's still alive.
I know. She's alive. So anyways, all that to say, I don't know where this is going to go. But if he proposes next week, I'm going to be like, no, put your foot down.
But
Like,
that's the
is
speed this is
crazy.
going.
I know. And I don't understand why he wants to move so fast. But I mean, he is, I think he's like in his 30s. So maybe he just knows what he wants. And
Yeah.
maybe he's just not ready to, he doesn't want to play games anymore, maybe.
And I respect
commend,
that.
yeah, I commend him for that. And of course, she doesn't want to either. So to a degree, I get it. But another part of me is like, oh,
Yeah. And it's interesting too because I feel like you have a barometer based on what you have seen in your own life. My parents dated for a year, engaged for a year, got married. Same thing with both of my brothers. Most of my friends, that's been the case. So Joey and I ended up dating a lot longer because we were young. But then it was a year engagement. We got married. But I see
Right.
these people who just fly through all the steps.
yeah.
And they are like first meeting to down the aisle in like 8 months.
right. And I'm not against it. Like,
Right.
I had a good friend of mine in high school. Her parents met and got engaged in 2 months. And
That's
they
crazy.
knew. And
Yeah,
they're still
yeah.
together to this day.
And you hear stories like that. You also hear stories. I had a friend that their first date was Valentine's Day. And by November, they were divorced.
Wow.
Yeah. And there's abuse and stuff. So I don't want to criticize it too much, but it does go to show that sometimes when you date someone longer, you get to see their quirks. You get to see them get angry and see how they
True.
react. Because all of us get angry. All of us have that
Right.
tendency to fly off the handle. Some
Right.
things not that big of a deal.
Right. And I also had a friend of mine that she, the church that she went to, they didn't believe in dating. They believed in courtships.
Right. So
And
you're with
there's
the
a difference.
parents. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not with because they both didn't have parents in the area, but they had someone in their church that was kind of like their person.
Third wheel?
No, they didn't go with them. Like they would talk to them. They were their
Oh.
spiritual mentor.
Interesting.
And so the guy liked my friend, had to go through this person and say, I like her. Are you okay with me asking her out? And they were like, I think this is right. Like they prayed about it and my friend prayed about it. And they're like, yeah, I feel like this is right. And there was something to do with like 3 dates and you need to either break it off or
wow.
you're ready to go. Like,
or get engaged?
Yeah. And so they were, but it's very purposeful dating.
Sure.
It's like you have to, there's something about the first date you spend with family, the second date you spend with friends, and then the third you spend with church.
When do you get time for just the two of you? Because the conversations you
know.
have in front of someone else
Right.
are different. And I'm not saying that every date you do should be a solo date
Right.
out in the woods all alone. Like, that's not good either.
No.
But there is something
if
to be
Disney
said.
has taught us anything.
Yes. Into the woods. But I do think that it's good to have conversations on your own so you really get to know
Right.
that person and know that they're not just putting on a show.
Right. But they are still together.
Okay.
Celebrating their 5th anniversary. So
Wow.
they're doing good. And it was just purposeful dating. Like they didn't want to waste their time. And there were steps that they had to go through to make that happen. I guess it's more of like an in-person eHarmony type thing. But with my friend who I'm talking about earlier, she like skipped through all
the
of those
steps straight to the,
Yep.
to the
And I
aisle.
didn't expect to see her do this. Like that's what surprises me. And I don't think she saw herself doing this either, like moving this fast. But I think he had something to do with that also. Like I think he was the one that was like wanting to pursue it and make it
Well,
go faster.
I do think there's something to be said about most women, I think, are already there. Like they're ready. If they're ready, they're ready. And they feel like a clock ticking. I don't think
Oh,
guys
yeah.
feel that as much.
No.
So I don't think a girl tries to put that forward on a date. I don't think she's like, I want to get married tomorrow. But when a guy says it, she's like, yeah,
I know.
let's get married
Like
tomorrow.
you almost feel like an idiot if you say no to it. So I get it. Like that's what's bad. I see a lot of friends that they get to that point where they go into desperation and then they let these things that they were looking for earlier in a man, they don't look for them them anymore because they feel like if I keep pursuing that, I'm never going to find anyone. So I get it to a degree. And I'm not saying that that's what my friend is doing. I'm just saying that she found someone on eHarmony that was extremely eager. And this is going.
It was just
at 100 miles an hour.
I know that she couldn't see herself doing this. Could you ever see yourself doing that? Going from talking to meeting in days?
I honestly think that, and I hope that this is right, that whenever I do meet someone, I want it to go not that fast, but faster than normal. Like, I don't want to spend a year. I'd rather, like, my parents were 9 months and they were married. Yeah. So it's like, if once I know, I just want to know and just get it. What? I've been waiting long enough. I'm not going to wait anymore.
You have life wisdom and experience as opposed to me, who I met my husband in 5th grade. We started dating when we were 17.
Right.
It takes a little bit longer because you grow a lot through that. But I do think it would make sense for you to go faster. Yeah. And I think you'll know if it's the right thing. Like, I don't think there's going to be this, should I not?
People can judge all they want. Like, we can sit here, we could judge my friend, but I'm not going to. Like, I know that everyone has a different situation. I think the protective side of me that knows her and wants her to meet a good guy, it makes me nervous that she drove all this way to meet a guy that she had no idea if he was really legit or not. Like, you hear about catfishing and all this stuff and you're thinking, this could really happen.
But on the catfishing, it's usually like they're talking online for years and then they meet and it's not. So there is something to be said. She's not wasting her time saying, what if this person isn't who they pretend to be?
And I would say that she is very adventurous, meaning she takes chances. And so she doesn't like waste time. And this is a great example of that. But I'm wondering if it was she met him in person. Let's say she didn't meet him on eHarmony, but she met him in person and they moved this fast. I don't think I'd be as scared about it or as cautious about it. But for some reason, with eHarmony and him being 4 hours away, I'm thinking, I don't know.
There are a lot of scary online dating stories. I think that's the problem. Is that I don't have a problem with online dating. Like, I know some friends that they met their spouses that way. They're happily married today. It was a great match. It worked out well. But you do hear those horror stories, and so I think there's more caution that needs to be used. But good. I'm glad that it worked out. I'm glad she's not dead in a ditch. That's really the most important part of this. Yay, not dead, Betty's friend.
Yes.
So another issue with friends is when you're going out to eat and one of you has a preference and the other doesn't. Like, I have this vegan friend who we are talking about maybe getting together this summer in my hometown. And my hometown is in the Midwest, where I don't know if people really know how to not eat meat in the Midwest. Like, that's just not veganism is like a foreign thing. She lives out west now, and so I'm sure she has a ton of vegan restaurants. I don't know of any vegan restaurants or even vegan-friendly restaurants in my hometown. And so I told her, I'm like, if we meet up, this is all on you. Like, I'm not even going to recommend a place. It's tough when you're trying to get together with people.
Tell me what vegan is again. Is that when the fruit or the vegetable has to be dead? Like, what's that one? Where, like, they don't even eat live. They don't eat meat and they don't eat live produce. Have you heard of this? Is that what vegan is? They wait till it falls off the branch and then they eat it.
That is extreme. No,
I forget what that's called.
Vegan is just no animal byproducts. So no dairy, no eggs, nothing made with something made from an animal.
Is this a spiritual thing or is this like a personal thing?
It's a personal, I don't know.
She just decided on the whim that
PETA got into her and
Okay.
But what is this, like, fall off the branch?
It's seriously a diet that I've heard of where you don't eat anything that is anything close to a meat product. Like, you don't do anything with animals, and then you're only eating fruit and vegetables, but you don't eat they believe those are living also. So they wait until they die and come off the branch.
What?
Yes. So I don't know.
Can they buy their produce in the store still?
I doubt it.
So they just literally, like, they're just on a farm with their arms out being like, any day now.
They're like, a big gust of wind needs to come through.
Wait, how do they do that because certain regions, They're
Maybe it's not true. Whoever was telling me might have been lying, and I totally believed
so
it.
crazy.
But I have heard of that. But yeah, with a vegan friend, you're like, where do I go? Like I'm going through a situation like that where a friend of mine is going through this radical boot camp diet thing. And so she's like, I want to drop 15 pounds in 15 days, or something like that. And so we'll go out to eat, and she'll be like, I can only go to this place, or this place. And you're like, ooh, they both sound terrible. I want something really bad for me.
Yeah.
And so then you feel guilty when you're eating something bad in front of her because, it's hard enough to be responsible. It's like everyone has to suffer for
it's
that
true.
one person.
I know, and I'm usually the dieting friend at restaurants, and I absolutely hate it because you don't want to be a burden, especially me. Like I don't like being a burden at these restaurants and with these friends. I've kind of created a rule, like when I'm going through periods where I am really strict with what I eat, I kind of lay off on it when I am going out to eat with friends. Unless it's a restaurant where I'm like, oh, this salad I actually genuinely like. This isn't a big deal. If they pick a place that there's just no healthy option, I'm just going to say, you know what? Forget it. I'll try to take half of it home. But I don't want to make a friendship awkward because I'm making this choice.Es that make sense?
Yeah. No, I get that. I think there's just not an easy answer. Like, I honestly don't know if there's a really, I mean, I could be wrong, but is there a purpose to being that strict with your food? Like, I mean, probably it helps you drop weight faster if you do, but you could still eat normal food, just not as much, right?
Well, have you ever looked at the calories at some restaurant items?
No.
There are some of my favorite dishes at restaurants are like 2,500 calories for one serving.
Is that a lot?
That's a ton. My daily, when I'm dieting, I usually try to stay around like 1,400 calories a day. Day. So half of that meal is like my entire daily allowance. And I still have 2 more meals because I like to eat a lot during the day. I know that there are a lot of places where it is difficult to find something, especially if your friend's on a strict diet where she's saying, okay, I'm only going to eat this kind of lean meat or this kind of vegetable with no dressing and no crunchy bits and fun things.
But here's the funny thing. This friend that I'm talking about, she is like Wally and doesn't eat any produce. Like she hates vegetables.
So how is she diet? What's her diet?
It's really weird, like crazy, where she has to make it work for her. Like instead of using salmon or tuna or whatever it is that you're supposed to eat, she'll substitute for turkey. And like she doesn't like wheat bread, so she'll do white, but she'll just half it instead.
Oh.
Like she just can't eat anything healthy. She hates anything green, anything that's good for you. So she, like the other day we went to Chipotle and she got meat, beans, and rice, and that was it.
That's not that good. Like, I don't understand.
I don't either.
Maybe she's picking the wrong strategy with this.
I don't know. And
which Wally
the blind
does too.
leading the blind, I have no idea.
Yeah, Wally's always like, well, I only had 4 caramels today.
Yeah, so I'm doing really good.
5.
I'm on a diet.
Yes.
My dad is the worst at that. He's like, I'm going to drop some weight. I'm going to do the popsicle diet. And the popsicle diet is he doesn't eat any food. He just eats popsicles. And it's like, Dad, that does not work. Just so you know.
My favorite with Wally is when he does the 5 Guys fries diet.
That is the dumbest thing ever.
He just there was a day last week or the week before.
Yeah, just recently.
It was 3 times within 1 week he went to 5 Guys for fries for lunch because he claimed that was
a
healthy.
That was healthy.
His diet.
Yeah.
And he's still
it's fries.
What?
You fry them.
And
They're
he still
not
has a
good
bag of Skittles on his desk that he's eating out of all day. Like there's
I know. And his sugar water that he just drinks all the time.
I know.
That stuff is rough.
Man, it is so nice to talk bad about him without his rebuttal.
Just so you know, people potties, he does not eat healthy at all.
No.
Like candy all the time. And like Becca just said, he thinks fries are
Diet food.
Like, oh, I'm just gonna go. He'll be like, no, I can't go out for breakfast. I can't eat anything. Then you catch him at lunch. Hey, I'm gonna go to 5 Guys and get some fries because I'm on a diet. Like, no, you're not.
Or my favorite is, I'm trying to be good, so I'm making my smoothies, and he will have 2 smoothies in the morning, and they'll be made out of like the sugariest fruit juice ever.
Yeah.
No veggies whatsoever.
It's not even green. It's pink. It's pink.
Bright pink. It's like Pepto-Bismol pink.
So it's just more sugar.
I think he just adds like a spoonful of sugar too.
And he's enough on his own. But when
know.
you add that much sugar to a one-man system, he's like bouncing off the walls.
And he's not a big man. I mean, like, to be able to handle that much sugar.
I know. He eats so much sugar.
Oh, my goodness. He uploaded a picture from, they're in England right now, so he uploaded a picture from Stonehenge, which is really cool. And someone made the joke. He was talking about how it was shorter than he expected, and someone was like, but I thought everything was tall compared to Wall.
I
so
love
funny.
it.
Which, by the way, if you want to see a couple pictures from his trip, he has been uploading those to facebook.com/Wally Show. So
there's also a fun video of us on there that Zach posted.
Talked about that
Also,
yesterday.
I need to post the one of you eating out of the trash.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of diets.
You know what I was thinking the other day? When Betty posts the video, you'll have to see it. There's something so delicious that someone brought, and Betty didn't like it, so she threw it in the trash. So, of course, I got out of the trash and ate it because the trash is mostly paper. I was thinking about that video the other day, and I was looking at our floors. The floors in our office can get really disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I think I'd rather eat out of the trash any day than off this floor.
Oh.
I think that's a safer bet.
Easily.
Yeah.
Our floors are nasty.
Yeah. I don't know what it is with this building and the people who work here, but the other day we came in and someone had left their trash in the studio.
Yes.
A sink full of dishes with an empty dishwasher.
Dirty dishes.
Dirty dishes.
Like not even clean ones, dirty ones.
The trash in the studio
Rank.
it smelled like if you ordered everything on a McDonald's menu and then left it in the sun in your car. And then you ate it and then you threw it back up. That's what it smelled like. It was so bad. And I don't understand. I don't understand the people we work with. But whatever. We're perfect. We're girls. Girl podcast. All right, that's going to do it for your precast. We did news and least of these. So
And it's the best ever.
It's the best ever. So enjoy it.
Doing our best to keep you up to date.
We took the scenic route, but we ended up in the same place.
It's the Wally Show News.
Yesterday, we talked about that Egypt air flight that was hijacked, and it wasn't a terrorist attack. The man was disturbed and was trying to get a hold of his ex-wife. His explosives turned out to be fake, which is good news, and he was taken into custody. But the craziest part of this story might be from another person on that same flight. One of the passengers decided to get his picture taken with the hijacker while they were still on the plane.
No.
Yes.
Like a selfie thing?
So he had a friend take the picture for him, but the man posed and smiled next to the hijacker who was wearing this device that looked like an explosive. And everyone, of course, is asking him, why would you do something like that? And he said, I thought, why not? I figured if his bomb was real, I had nothing to lose anyway, so I took a chance to get a closer look at it.
I don't know what to think. Like, I know I've heard Wally say, there's like this epidemic of when something crazy happens, people want to take selfies instead of help the people in the process.
Right.
So maybe this is taking it even one step further. Like, are we going to see more of this where someone is taking charge, like they have a gun? They're like, hold on, sir, let me get a selfie with you before you kill me.
Maybe it threw him off.
How does that?
I don't know. But we read those statistics about people dying because of selfies that they take, and this is an incident where you don't take a picture.
I would understand if he already knew that everything was fake, but he still didn't know.
No, it was in the moment.
He must be the biggest risk taker I've ever heard of.
I guess, but what a bizarre photo. That story is obviously one that required police intervention, but this next one is not. A woman ordered a half cheese, half bacon pizza from her local pizza shop, but they got the order wrong and gave her half cheese, half hamburger.
Oh,
end of the world.
Terrible. What?
So she ate the cheese half and then tried to return the other half to get her money back.
Gross.
That didn't work, so she called 911.
If I order a pizza and they don't want to give me my money back, can you guys do something?
Ma'am, I'm not sure. That's something you have to take up with them, but that's not something you would dial 911 for.
Oh my word. So does she get in trouble for calling 911 for that?
I'm not sure that she got in trouble, but they did have a police officer meet her at the pizza shop to kind of help with the situation, and I'm guessing she at least got scolded because you learn when you're a kid you don't dial 911 if it's a non-emergency, and your pizza is never an emergency unless it is scalding your leg and you're dying.
Even then.
Even then.
But I don't understand. Like, I know, like, they go through this at school where they tell you what's an emergency and what
Right.
isn't. So how are there still people that are calling about dumb things?
I don't know. Maybe in their mind, that pizza was a huge emergency.
Or maybe they felt like they were being taken advantage of and they didn't.
Possibly.
They needed the law to get behind them. But it's a pizza.
Still not a 911 call. But if those two stories leave you wondering what is wrong with some people, hopefully this last story will help you restore your faith in humanity. There was an accident yesterday between a car and a bus. 2 people were trapped in the car when it caught on fire. So scary situation. Emergency crews weren't there yet. But 2 ordinary people who watched everything happen sprang into action and rescued the people from the car, pulled them out of the burning car, and they didn't even think twice about it.
It's a reaction. It wasn't really a thought. It's just, oh, I gotta help somebody. I would want people to react the same way if I was on fire.
I would like to know the other people that were on the scene. Were they taking selfies? Like this guy with the bomber.
Probably.
Oh, wait, hold on. Get me with the burning car and the victims inside.
I would have no doubt that that was happening at the same time, but the good news is that they did get them pulled out just in time because the gas tank on the bus exploded after they were free from the car. The driver of the car did have 3rd-degree burns, but he's recovering today, so everyone's doing okay.
Well, thank goodness.
I
Yay
know.
for not pulling out your phone.
Yes, the lesson today in this first news is don't pull out your cell phone when there's an emergency.
Right. It just doesn't make sense.
Unless you dial 911.
Or your leg is on fire from a pizza.
Exactly.
These are the least important stories out of Hollywood, but nonetheless entertaining. It's the least of these.
It's the least of these, the least of these.
Yeah.
What is it? The least of these. With your host, Betty Rock. Oh, I like it.
I
Thank
sang
you.
along this
Thank
time.
you. I appreciate
I'm giving
that. Have you heard about this new thing that's on dating websites? It's called ghosting. Have you heard
No.
of this? Yeah, I didn't hear about it either until a close friend of mine, she is on a dating website, and it's happening to her more frequently. What it is you're in contact with this person, and then all of a sudden, they just drop out. Like, they're not contacting you anymore. They're not answering your text, your phone calls, emails, nothing.
Just
they
off the face of the planet.
Yeah, like they just dropped off, and it's called ghosting. And so apparently, this is also something that celebrities aren't exempt from either. Rumors were saying that Charlize Theron and Sean Penn, when they broke up, that she ghosted him.
Wow.
Like, just dropped off
Just
the planet.
gone.
I know. How selfish can you be? But she is claiming in a recent interview, though, it was a mutual decision, and they wanted to call things off.
This is good news for you if you ever do online dating because you don't like confrontation. So if a date doesn't go well,
I just drop off the
you
planet.
just drop off the planet. You're just fitting in with the trend.
I'm just ghosting.
Yeah,
it's totally fine.
totally.
Josh and Anna Duggar were spotted together for the first time Saturday afternoon
good.
after Josh's 6-month stint in a faith-based rehab. And although a source reported that Josh wasn't there to celebrate with his family on Easter, his dad, Jim Bob Duggar, said that they have forgiven, moved on, and they're looking forward to the future. And speaking of the Duggars, Jim Bob and Michelle recently celebrated their 32nd anniversary.
They've only been married 32 years.
Only? I thought that was... They don't look old enough to be
That's
32 years in.
But that's a really short amount of time to have 8 million children.
Well, that is true. That is very... Yeah, that's a good point. But they were asked by their fans to give some marriage advice. So here were a couple that they said. Individually pursue a relationship with God so that your relationship with God can bring you closer to your spouse. Don't let the sun go down on an argument. Make sure that you forgive. Also, never put down your spouse or name call them. Or also make sure to go on regular dates. So all that is great
Good advice.
And they should know. I mean, they've gone through some really difficult situations considering the past. Another guy that is celebrating his anniversary, and this is crazy, you know, for celebrities, it just doesn't happen that they stick together for very long. But Hugh Jackman is celebrating his 20th anniversary.
Really?
Yeah, and his wife is a little bit older than him.
20th anniversary.
Yeah, 20.
Wow. Yeah, that doesn't happen in Hollywood much.
I know. So when they asked him what is the slogan that he lives by, he said, "Happy wife, happy life." And he claimed that she is the best thing that's ever happened to him. And this is coming
good
from
for
a
him.
recent thing where this past weekend we reported earlier this week that he saved his 2 kids from a riptide in the ocean. So I would say she's a pretty lucky woman to have someone that saves her children, and that actually can.
Yeah.
You know?
And it seems like she's a good partner, too, because I remember an interview where he was filming Wolverine and he was really trying to get into the character.
Where he's the wolf with the forks on his hand.
Yes, with the forks, exactly. Nailed it. But to kind of stay in character of this person who's always angry and upset, he took like cold showers all the time just to like keep him on edge constantly. And, she put up with it and was like, all right, it's part of your job. So,
Well, because he's bringing in the money.
That's true.
Shoot, I'd do it too.
They say it's smart not to talk about religion or politics.
He's the logic vacuum.
Well, we've never been that smart. It's the Wally Show News.
And CNN hosted a Republican town hall last night where the final 3 Republican candidates took the stage separately. You might remember at the beginning of the race, each candidate was asked to pledge their support to whoever became the nominee. Well, now Trump is going back on that promise.
Do you continue to pledge whoever the Republican nominee is?
No, I don't anymore. Look,
you don't?
No, I don't need their support. I've been treated very unfairly. I'll give you an example.
Unfairly by?
I think by basically the RNC, the Republican Party, the establishment.
Now, he is the front runner, so you could see how it might be difficult for him to back someone else. And the interesting part, too, is that he isn't the only candidate revoking that pledge. Cruz did as well.
I'm not in the habit of supporting someone who attacks my wife and attacks my family. I think that is going beyond the line. I think our wives, I think our kids should be off limits.
When that was targeting Trump because they had that whole Twitter dispute. Yeah. But it didn't stop there. Kasich also said he would have a hard time holding up the pledge.
If the nominee is somebody that I think is really hurting the country and dividing the country, I can't stand behind them, but we have a ways to go. Let's see how this all folds out.
Whew. And I don't blame him.
No.
I mean, Cruz makes a point. If you're going to badmouth his wife, why would you want to support? That does not make sense at all. And then Trump, why would he want to, be good on his side either? I mean, I'm only 30, but I don't remember Republicans or people on the same team fighting this much against each other. I know there's always been disagreements, but I feel like even they're on their own island. Do you get what I'm saying?
I do. No, this one definitely seems crazier. So to expect them to hold up a pledge that they made when there were about 8 million candidates to now go down to these final 3, which it's just become an odd race. I don't really blame any of them, to be honest. If you're flying soon, you might not want to hear this next story because it doesn't make airport security look good. A woman was recently showed up at the Nashville airport and was able to bypass the TSA security checkpoint without an ID or a boarding pass.
How?
Apparently, she told them, "My name and faith is my ID," and it worked.
What?
She then got to the gate and told them the same thing, got on the plane. Thankfully, at this point, police got involved and removed her from the plane. But the TSA agent that was involved in letting her through is being investigated and then eventually resigned before this thing was fully settled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, if you say your faith, what? Her name
She
and
said,
her faith?
Yeah, my name and faith is my ID.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but apparently it was enough to confuse the TSA agent.
Oh my word, that's scary.
Right?
And Wally, he just left. He's on that airplane coming back.
He's coming back. I'm leaving for Africa next month, and then we're going to. Yeah,
you should test it out and see.
No,
just say
that's
my
okay.
name and my face.
I don't want to risk getting arrested. I'm good. I'm good. And finally, about 3 weeks ago, a homeless man in Minneapolis asked a woman for some change, and she initially said no, but then turned back and asked why he didn't have a job. And he said, I have a criminal record, so I'm not able to be hired anywhere. So she gave him a job at her restaurant washing dishes for a couple hours every day. Well, he's been showing up to work perfectly on time. And during one of his shifts even, the restaurant owner gave him a free sandwich. And he ate half of it and then immediately took it outside to another homeless person and paid it forward.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's kind of a good story of this restaurant owner showing good faith in this man, and he's really lived up to expectations. So I'm really thankful for that.
That's pretty cool. I like ending it on good news.
Yes, for sure. So that's going to do it for the podcast. As you heard on Least of These, I sang along with Betty's jingle, and someone wrote on the app and said, "No, Becca, don't give in. Don't sing with her jingle."
Hush your mouth. Let her give in. I thought it was fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, I loved it. I think I need to keep it up. What have you got planned for the rest of the day? Fun?
I have a dentist appointment today.
Ew.
Yeah, but lately I feel like my teeth have been dirty, and so as much as I'm dreading it. Oh, well, there's fun story about this dentist. Where we live, they're building tons of new restaurants, and so every day you see construction go in, and you're like, what restaurant is it going to be? So this building that was built, we saw it going up, and we're like, this is going to be an awesome restaurant. And they started adding brick to the outside, and it was really beautiful and looked modern. We're like, this is going to be a great restaurant. We're going to get a really nice restaurant. They finally put the sign on the building. It's a dental office.
That looks like a restaurant.
I felt so betrayed. It looked like a restaurant. And I'm like, I'm never going there.
And now you are.
But then our insurance changed. And I got a coupon in the mail where they were giving away a $1 whitening. Ooh. And so I was like, well, now I got to try the restaurant.
Is it the things that you like, the strips?
I'm not sure.
The light or the.
It says it's a $1.99 value, a $199 value for $1. So I'm hoping it's something good. I don't know.
You can't beat that.
Can't beat that. But I called to make the appointment and she's like, do you know where we're located? And I'm like, yeah, you're the dental office that I thought was a restaurant. It's a colossal disappointment, but you have a coupon, so I'm going to come.
I'm going to support you.
Yeah, so that's my plan.
Be fun.
What about you? Do you have something fun?
No, I am in the middle of my English class at Colorado Christian, and I'm going to the library to sit there and look at a blank Word document.
Yes.
Because I have to write a paper and I don't know what to write about.
I know that feeling.
Terrible. And I'll tell you something that is really struggling me right now. You go to the library and we're in this asthmatic, there's like stuff in the air and people's asthma and their allergies are acting up and people just need to take care of that. But people don't. They come to the library and their nose is like running. So, of course, that makes you cough, makes you gag. So I'll be sitting there trying to concentrate, typity type on my computer. And all of a sudden this guy beside me, I was like, sir, take some time and go to the bathroom. Like, you're interrupting us all. So my only option is to put earphones in and turn on some music. But then that makes it hard to concentrate because I'm sitting there tapping my feet. Mm-hmm. It's like, what do you do?
Couple tips. First of all, I highly recommend
slapping the man.
Yes, that's tip number one. Number two, if you want to go for a less violent approach, which I recommend, I used to listen to Hans Zimmer, Pandora.
What's
in
that?
college, it's all movie scores. And so it's still like a beat because it's like da 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 da. And
really
like, I'm gonna beat this homework. But there's no words, so you don't find yourself like singing along as much. You're like typing about the English and the period of history, and it makes you feel like you're on this mission. Now, I can't say it works every time because I do remember so many days of staring at a blank Word document. I used to have to reward myself with like going to the bathroom to pee. Like, I'd be like, I can't pee until I finish this paragraph because I've been sitting here for 2 hours.
That would be terrible.
Yeah, I can't get a drink of water until this page is done. Yeah, I had to go extreme sometimes because there are days when your focus is just.
Oh, I know. I've learned there's specific spots in the library that I cannot sit because they're too close to a window. Like, I made that mistake one time and I sat there for 2 hours, didn't get anything done because I was thinking, look at that patch of grass. It's so green. Oh, look at that car. I wonder what the gas mileage is. Look at that cute little bird. It's so cute. All of a sudden, I got to go home. Didn't get anything done.
It's been 5 hours.
I know. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying you need to be hit with some library etiquette. And when your nose is running, you're coughing. I get it. You're sick. That's fine. But have the courtesy to go in the bathroom and blow your nose to help the others around you because you are distracting.
In college, we had three floors to our library, and it was the social floor, the intermediate floor, and the quiet floor. And when you were on the top floor, the quiet floor, if you had a cough, you had to move down a floor. Like, they were so strict because it was for those students that needed complete, utter silence.
I love it.
To get work done. I can't function like that. I need like just enough distraction.
No.
So I'd even work on the first floor where people are doing group projects around me, things are going on. Like, I need a little bit of that.
I get that.
But on the top floor, like, you couldn't even, if you had music playing, you couldn't even have your headphones up too loud. Like, it was literally like a vacuum of sound.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's what they need because we have people that come into the library and they bring their kids with them. Ugh. And they're trying to teach them.
Kids are great.
They're trying to teach them library etiquette, but some don't even bother. Like, the kids are coming in, I want this. And you're like, oh my word, your child needs to be quiet. Like, I'm trying to be. But the cutest thing did happen. There was this teenage kid that walked in and he sat down at the table right beside mine. And I'm not sure what his disability was, but he had one of those dogs. What do you call them?
Oh, yeah, like a guide dog.
A guide dog, yes. And had the cute little vest on and stuff. And I've been told, like, of course, I'm tempted to be like, oh, what a cute little puppy.
You're not supposed to pet him.
But you're not supposed to pet him. But it was the cutest thing because it followed everything that he did. Like, if he made any little movement, he'd be like, ready to help. And he just got underneath the table and just laid down and fell asleep. But right when he would get up to get another book, that dog was like
ready to
on
go.
his heels.
Did the dog do his homework for him? That's what you need. You need a homework dog.
What's the point if you can't do my homework?
You worthless animal.
Yeah.
Just kidding. All dogs are great. And all children are great.
Oh my gosh, Hadley would make a horrible.
Oh my goodness. Could you imagine her as a guide dog? My dog.
She would need someone to take care of her.
So we went on, we talked about this earlier in the week, right? The hike that we did last weekend. And my dog was the worst with like just wanting to be in everyone's business. We talked about family pictures too. So when we're doing family pictures, we're at this busy park and people are walking their dogs. There are ducks, there are squirrels, there's everything going on. And Hadley was losing her ever-loving mind. She's on the weirdest walk possible because we were stopping to take pictures every couple steps. And she was just like whining the entire time. She was behaving. She was a bit annoying, but oh my goodness, she would not make a good guide dog. She's not patient enough.
And she's too distracted.
And anytime a UPS truck people could rob you could go to my house right now and rob it, and she would be like, okay, that's cool. But the UPS truck drives by, and it is the end of the world. We're all gonna die. Nothing is right.
And what was so funny about the hike that we went on, we couldn't figure out why she was whining to begin with.
That's
like,
right.
we first get out of the car, we take Hadley out, and she's just like, and you're thinking, what's wrong?
Yeah.
Like, why are you so anxious?
And
What's
she starts
going on?
crying.
Yeah.
And
then you get her to the front of the line because there was like 3 other dogs with us and 2 other girls. And you get her Hadley to the front, and she completely stopped whining.
It's fine. She
wanted
did that
to be the leader.
She wants to be the leader. She did that with photos too. We were with the photographer, and the photographer was taking the lead because she had all these locations picked out. Hadley's whining like crazy, so we decided to try to let Hadley lead, and she did so much better. Like, she just has to be the first.
So weird.
I know.
She's high maintenance.
She is, but she's so cute. Someone emailed me and asked me to post a picture from our family photos on Facebook. I don't feel like the world is ready for that, but I did send this person an email from our photo shoot.
But what I've seen is so cute.
No, it is cute. I'm so excited. I'm excited to see the rest of them, and I can't stop looking at them. And every time my phone went off yesterday,
at your face. Jeez.
No,
that much.
my adorable dog and my husband. But it was funny because Joey was not totally on board with the idea. Like, he was going to do it, and he was being very kind about it and everything. But, I don't think any guy really loves to do a photo shoot. That's just not their thing.
Most I've seen, yeah.
But yesterday, every time my phone would go off, he'd be like, "Is that Mandy? Did she post more pictures? Did she send me more pictures?" He was so excited.
Yeah.
So
telling off on himself.
Telling off. But yeah, Mandy did a really, really great job.
She did.
She was so creative and
And took care of Hadley.
Yeah, I know. It was fantastic.
Bless
so
her.
anyway, that's going to do it for your... Wow, we went kind of long there on the podcast.
It's a girl podcast. We like to talk. And Wally can't interrupt. La, 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 cha, 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 cha.
Just kidding, we're not done yet. One more quick thing. So Friday is April Fool's Day, and Wally is still going to be gone for that. But I've had some people email me with prank ideas we can play on him while he is gone. We're going to read some of those tomorrow.
Yes.
But if you have any other ideas of things that we can do to Wally while he's gone, or for him to come back to, or something we can do when he comes back, feel free to email. Is your email active?
No.
Okay, so email me at Becca, BEKAH, at allwally.com.
And keep in mind that you're working with 2 people that one is extremely scared and skittish all the time, and one that just does not understand what's going on around her. So please dumb it down and make sure that it's one that will work for both of us.
Yes, don't be like, hey, why don't you get Donald Trump to show up at the studios and make it rain $1 million? Like, we don't have the means for that. Don't be like, hey, you should bring an elephant to work and see if he notices.
Yeah, Becca would be scared the whole time with the elephant, and I'd be like, what? What are we supposed to do?
Yeah. Also, Wally wouldn't notice the elephant. So don't tell us to go skiing. We live in Tennessee. It's not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
So Becca at allwally.com.